Good afternoon, and welcome to the Dell and Microsoft Copilot training. I'm Lauren Catalano. I am your D&H Microsoft U.S. Commercial Ambassador. Today we will be joined by Dan Payne, who is our Dell specialist for solutions, and he's going to continue with the Dell portion of the training, and then afterwards I'll be discussing Microsoft Copilot specifically. Dan?
All right. Hey, thanks, Lauren. Hey, so my name's Daniel, and I am a Dell badge solution specialist or CSG specialist. And I'm here to talk to you about what Dell does with Copilot or how we're different, but we'll give you a little bit of history of what's going on with our systems and moving forward on this. So let's jump right in. Think about where AI has taken us to the next level, right? And what we've done on AI from the past. So everything had started off in the cloud. So you would be on a browser, type in your message, and you're probably still doing this in some cases, in some places. It would go out to the cloud, do all the research, send it back to your PC, and it took a little bit of time to do it, and now you had to wait. Now, as Microsoft has developed this Copilot Plus PC, and Intel, AMD, and Snapdragon all have processors that have this NPU built into it, the neural processor unit. It allows you now to be able to start to have on-device processing of the AI device or AI sources that you want to run, right? So now you'll be able to pull up in your own browser. It can run locally on the NPU. There are quite a bit of things that are out there today that run on the NPU. For instance, this camera on my notebook is actually using the NPU to create the background. If you think about earlier in the years when we did this, you can move the background and you can see all the stuff around you. But now with a Copilot Plus PC or an AI PC that has an NPU using the internal camera, it now gives you more crisp, clear. It keeps the eye focus on place. It keeps me front and center in front of you. All of this is running locally on the NPU. Just to kind of give you an idea, I'll share this. I have the statistics up on a, I don't know if that came through, but if it's running the NPU right here. So this is the camera and what it's doing. So it's saving me all the processing power of doing this video off of the CPU and GPU. So it's kind of cool to be able to get and see that this NPU or the Copilot Plus, all of these things that run on the hardware we're trying to make it faster, better, and greater for you to perform on. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing. We'll get back to the presentation here. And let's move a little bit forward here. So slide 2 here gets you to show you that, hey, now I can run AI specific things locally on the PC, so it actually improves performance, and I don't have to pay for a lot of cloud services. So as you start to build your AI task or applications, now you can think about where to store them or how to make it best for your users to use it. And so one of the things I like to think about, it's accelerated to make it faster for you. It's individualized, right? So if you're behind your own firewall and cloud, now you can individualize how your AI applications will be used on PCs. It's private. It can be private behind your firewall, and then it's more cost effective now that we can run it locally and not have to pay for so much into the cloud here. I will, Dell has offered quite a bit of AI PCs that are out there. So the first generation is the Essentials AI. That was about 3 years ago or 2 years ago when we first went to just thinking about getting into the AIs and start talking about TOPS and NPUs here. That was, I call it the guinea pig era, that allowed us to go in and test around and see what happened. Wasn't much that you can do. And then as Microsoft started to build the operating system, they came up with this Copilot Plus PC. And all they did is they made it so you have to have at least 40 TOPS into that NPU in order to take full advantage of what a Copilot Plus PC will do for you. So remember, 40 TOPS. And just as a note, today, We're into that third generation of processors that will be coming out, AMD Series 2 from Snapdragon and Core Ultra 3 from Intel. All are now going to push that NPU to tops of 50, but you're going to start hearing larger numbers of tops that will reach 120 to 180 tops. That is in conjunction of all three components. So looking at CPU, GPU, and NPU all together gives you that total number of tops. All right. But in order to be a Copilot Plus PC, it's 40 tops or more. All right. We're going to take a little, I want to get a little quiz here. Let's see how you guys are seeing how this runs here. So here's a little quick survey. Hopefully I answered certain things or gave you the information to answer these questions. All right, give you a second there. Let's move forward. And let's see what the results are. Do we have results coming in? I believe the correct answer would be Copilot Plus PC. All right, I don't see anything populating.
Besides clicking on the box, did you have to do anything?
They had to, there was a, if we go back one, they had to select the proper answer. That's it, I think. Ah, there they go. They're coming. Somebody did. Essentials, high performance. There we go, 90%. Copilot Plus PC. Good job. All right, let's continue to move here. There are different iterations, and Lauren will probably cover this in depth, but there are different levels for the Copilot Plus PC or Copilot Plus from the Microsoft side of things, and I'll let Microsoft cover that. I just wanted to give you guys a little snapshot of where that's going over here. But right now, let's introduce you to the next generation of Dell PCs. So one of the things, we're going to stay with the Dell Pro from our new branding of 2025 timeframe as we launched our new branding for removing Latitude and putting in place of Dell Pro. This year, we're actually changing a little bit more and bringing some of the older names back, or at least one. The Dell Pro Precision will be back. So no longer Dell Pro Max. If they don't get a new processor, they will keep the Dell Pro Max until they refresh. But today, as we've already launched some new Dell Pro Precision notebooks and desktops, you will see the new branding there. And then we will continue on with the Dell Pro Rugged Essentials and the Pro Education. All right. So when you think about where we are and what's happening, this is one of our thinnest profiles ever. In each platform, we've gotten thinner, a little bit lighter, and moving better in the mix. So better user experience. We're looking at being able to have a superior collaboration experience as well too. So some of our premium features will actually touch base with utilizing Teams and Zoom to be able to use our collaboration keyboard or desktop keyboard to be able to mute, turn off screens and doing different things there. We are still the robust system or the most secure system in the industry right now. We'll talk a little bit about that in just a few minutes. And Dell's is a trusted piece for your everyday business, man. We can manage, we could do so much on our systems to help you manage it, use it, and be pretty impressive when you go through it as well. Let's think about a little bit else here where we go. So looking at all the different use cases that are out there, we have devices to do AI developers. Those are going to be your bigger desktop precisions or that have the bigger GPU cards, whether it's NVIDIA or whether it's AMD. We're also being able to do creators and design that's still kind of that mix of a mainstream to a performance PC. A power user may be also in that mix. But then when you think about a traveler like myself, I'm on the road today and I'll be back and forth, but I wanted something light, easy, that has a lot of features and tools to it. So those are the different generations that we're powered to do that with our Dell PCs. All right. Um, let's go back just a second. I'm gonna put up another piece here. May not have covered this one yet, but let's see if you guys know this just out of the blue here. Dell Trusted PC. What looks right on here, and then I'll go to a slide and we'll see if you can kind of get where that's coming from. There should be some really Dell fans out there that'll know this answer right off the bat, and we'll see how that goes, right? So let's look at some of the results. I think this may have to refresh. I should answer it as well too, right? So this one may be one, right? So that works. Let's see if that starts to populate in. They're the most, I like that piece too, right? So that's a good answer as well too, right? When you think about where we are, I'll go to this slide here. So #1 monitor in the world. We do so many on the peripherals. We've actually spent a ton of money to advertise our own branding for the Dell Pro lines of peripherals, monitors. I'm actually wearing the earbuds today. We have over-the-ear monitor or speaker headphones. We have speaker phones. I have on the ear. There's so many different peripherals that are out there that we use on a daily basis here. I'll go back just one slide. When you think about security, this is some of the things that Dell does. So we think about built with, we can do a secure supply chain. That supply chain makes sure that nothing touches that system until it gets to you. So that finally, once we put it in a box, we can certify it to you that everything has been secured. Nobody's touched that system moving forward. Also, when we think about what's built into the system, the Safe ID, the Safe BIOS, it prevents from malware being affected in the machine. Also, being able to secure your credentials as you log into the system with Safe ID. So as we use these cameras, fingerprint, or even your password or your PIN, we do a lot to prevent that from being on the open pathways that if you had been hacked or if you had clicked on something that took over your PC, you will you'll be protected. And then we talk about what's built on. So CrowdStrike is one of the top ones that we support. CrowdStrike is actually using the Copilot Plus PCs with that NPU to be able to do a lot of their AV work without impacting the performance of the system across the board. Absolute, we've always had Absolute in our systems. One of the things that I've always known Absolute to do is to be able to track that PC anywhere, manage it, wipe it, and do those things for you. Then we have a brand new tool called Halcyon, and Halcyon stops ransomware. It's an add-on product. It sits on the system, and today we do experience a lot of ransomware attacks in the systems. And so with the ransomware, this actually stops the system from being encrypted from the bad guys and gives you back control to make sure you can keep your data and never to pay that big price. All right. I see we got a question out here. The Pro system, we've actually have been able to reduce the weight, the Z height of all the systems. So yeah, I'll be impressed. Mine is the ultra lightweight. So I'm under just under 2 pounds, man. It is actually pretty cool to be able to carry this and other stuff in my backpack and save my back. All right, let's keep moving forward here. Oh, you know what? I think I am done. How about that? All right, if you guys got any questions on what you've seen here, I'll be around here. Put a question in the box. I'll be able to answer you, and we'll move forward. And Lauren, I'll turn it back to you.
All right, thank you, Dan. Just get to my deck here. All right, so once again, my name is Lauren Catalano. I am your Microsoft commercial ambassador for Dell, or for D&H rather. Dan focused more predominantly on AI and Copilot with Dell systems. What I'm really going to do is focus more on helping you to better understand the differences with having Windows 11 Pro systems, transition with Copilot Plus PCs, and really just kind of focus on better understanding the differences with those. Sorry. So what I want to kind of help people understand is really when you look at shifting over to Windows 11 Pro and you look at it changing from the portfolio from a Windows 11 PC and you're going to AI PCs, and then you've got Copilot Plus PCs. It can be confusing, and depending on what somebody's needs are for AI, there's a number of factors that kind of help determine that. And so you got the high performance devices that are giving you faster performance, they're giving you longer battery life, and more powerful AI capabilities. You've got security, you've got business readiness. That is also important with a lot of our, especially business users. All right. Windows 11 Pro PCs are secure by design, they're easier to manage, and they're compatible with all of your existing apps. And when you see this slide and you see three options, again, it is confusing to many. You've got Windows 11 PC. You've got a Windows 11 computer, so great. You're using Edge as your preferred browser. And because you've got Edge, you can use Copilot, which is cloud-based. It doesn't really do a lot of your onboard stuff to benefit certain features within Windows 11. And then the second option, you'll see Windows 11 AI PCs. And it confuses a lot of people because they tend to think, oh, it's an AI, so they confuse it for Copilot, and it's not. The AI PCs, and you'll see them in many descriptions with vendors, it'll have an entry-level NPU, it'll handle some basic AI processing and some onboard features, but typically the AI processing speed is approximately 10 to 16 tops. And 10 to 16 doesn't sound fast until it's trillion operations per second. It's crazy. But it handles more basic stuff. And then you'll see you've got the Windows 11 Copilot Plus PCs that were, it's my personal favorite. And those are the fastest, most intelligent systems that are currently available. And those systems have got a minimum requirement of 40 tops, as high as 55 plus, which Dan said earlier. You're seeing vendors coming out with saying that, hey, our next gen is going to be 80 or higher, just on the NPU alone. And with those, you can do a lot more the onboarding. To explain to when people look at a system and they see Copilot and they see what you don't need to be connected to the internet, that's kind of the differentiator, is what you're doing onboard. The onboard processing that you're doing with the applications, maybe you've got M365 or other stuff that's built internally with Windows 11. Those are the benefits where the higher NPU is helping you with artificial intelligence processing without needing an internet connection. It doesn't mean you're doing the language learning that is still going to be cloud-based when you're using those. So, a lot of people want to understand basically why they're upgrading to Windows 11 Pro or why they're looking at Copilot Plus PCs. We want to really emphasize this isn't really just a PC refresh. Everybody last year, the big emphasis was on going from your older systems of Windows 10 to Windows 11 upgrades. This is more of a platform shift. And Windows 11 Pro gets you ready. You get your Copilot Plus PCs are taking you forward. And this is the difference that's going to be between running AI in the cloud versus running AI on your device. You're getting better security, you're getting faster speeds, and you're getting a better battery life. So one of the things I really want to work, and when I talk to business owners and I'm talking to end users and customers alike, everybody, ROI is important. especially when organizations are buying in quantity. And, when you look at Copilot Plus PCs, they're typically more expensive than your non-Copilot Plus PCs. But when you look at the benefits here and you understand the numbers that I've shown before you, these benefits are quantified. It's not theoretical. All right. When you're seeing the security benefits, you're seeing the productivity benefits, you're showing how it's ready for business. All right. Those are all benefits that when you break it out, what I consider as a minimal cost of getting a better performing PC over the course of a year, much of those costs are easily recuperated in that first year. So what I want to kind of break down here is how you can build your solutions with a Copilot Plus PC and Windows 11 Pro. Windows 11, it's the foundation. It's providing flexible AI-enabled technology stack that's really tailored to what your needs are. Some people don't have a need for it. Some offices, depending on what somebody's function is, may not have it. But then you've got people who are more creative, and I find that it's very beneficial there. So it kind of stacks on what those needs are, whether you're doing it just as the OS, if you're having it embedded in the silicon with an NPU, with your Windows 11, if you're going to Copilot an AI system. So what it does is providing you a solution-based system that's on a Copilot Plus PC that can meet whatever your needs are today, but it still provides you the scalability for future needs, and it starts right with the silicon. So up to this point, what I've done is kind of realized I've mostly been focused on primarily why a Copilot Plus PCs matter from strategic and ROI perspective. What I want to do now is shift from platform value and just kind of push more towards day-to-day employee impact. And when you see this, it kind of helps better understand or put into perspective, when you look at a labor force, how this is helping everybody within an organization. So, traditionally, PCs rely on the CPU, use cloud for some basic AI tasks, which introduce latency, you can get battery drain, and there can be security concerns. And with this, what I did was kind of wanted to demonstrate, you see the differences that you're getting with Copilot just based on Windows. You're seeing it, well, what if I want to consider getting an M365 subscription? You might have M365 for your office needs, but a lot of people haven't considered maybe looking to get the subscription-based service where they're running Copilot on those applications. So we kind of want to really introduce the benefit with using those services and expand that next level of productivity. Being in the Microsoft team here at D&H, I've been very fortunate that, not only just having Copilot systems, we do have the Microsoft subscription. And whether I'm using it to organize my Outlook inbox, I'm using it in Excel and I'm doing data analysis, PowerPoint, not one of my greatest strong points in creating slide decks, but with using M365 Copilot, it's helped me level my game up when I work on my slide decks. All right, and there's also great benefits it offers you for pretty much, everyone I know is using Teams. So there's benefits with using Teams, whether you're summarizing a discussion, you're trying to take key takeaways from that meeting. So again, all of those benefits really improve your productivity. So, with this slide, what we kind of want to do is showing you how Windows 11 Pro and Copilot Plus PCs are working together. All right, Windows 11 Pro, it's improving your day-to-day productivity. It's giving you familiar features. Users already know how to use, but with Copilot, it's giving you better layouts. It's giving you smarter search options. It's giving you built-in accessibility and stronger default integrated security that's right in, not just in the operating system, but right in the silicon itself. So this deck, this slide, it's got a lot of information on it, and I'll make my slides available to anybody who'd like to have it. So that's kind of why I put a lot of information on the slides, but when I present, it's a little bit different. But what I wanted to do here was kind of show how Copilot Plus PCs and Microsoft are driving your everyday productivity. And this is something that a lot of people aren't seeing yet. We really want to help. So, your Copilot Plus PCs, they handle, it's not just having it locally, but it's giving you a fast and responsive system. So the experience that you're getting on this device, it feels warm. It's instant. It's not draining the battery life. We've all been at a conference that midway through and you're running at 10%. And, the latest Windows 11 systems and Dell have, you've got battery life that's pretty much lasting you an entire day. So it's giving you something that before you would have never imagined. You were always dongled to a cord charging across the room. Microsoft M365, Copilot, as I spoke earlier, it's giving you those existing tools so that you're not having new tools to learn. It's the tools that we've all been using for years, as far back as I can remember, and you're not having to learn or not having to reinvent something. And with Copilot integrated into that subscription, your productivity, it's leveling up the skills that maybe you didn't have before, but now when you've got that M365 subscription with it, it's making you far more productive. It's saving you hours every week. And, that adds up throughout the course of the year. And again, it's the tools you already know how to use, but you're taking your skills one level higher, maybe two. With this one, I kind of wanted to really kind of push forward, more so with the features. We always tell everybody, hey, we got all these cool new features. And nobody really either understands how to use them or really how to access them. That's kind of what I want to do with everybody. So these are all the exclusive new Windows 11 Pro Copilot features. So Studio Effects, that runs in the background. And what it does is it elevates the video meetings automatically. It's enabled through Windows camera settings. All right, it improves all of your framing, your eye contact, and any noise reduction without any extra apps. For many of us, especially when you're a remote worker and you've got things in your home in the background, it's kids, it's a dog, it's a doorbell. It's those things that before, it was embarrassing to be in the middle of a meeting on, and now with that, it adjusts all of that automatically. You've got the feature recall. And a lot of people I've spoken to haven't really had an opportunity to use it or really understood well how to use it. So what it does is it enables you natural languages that you searched across your work history, before you had to know the exact what you're looking for. Recall, you don't have to have that exact data. And, again, you use your natural language, the way you're searching for what you think that file is or what the image may have been. And it's accessed directly from Windows using a search-like experience. So what you do is you describe what it was that you saw in the imaging or in the text, or even in the applications, but you're using natural language to search. You don't have to remember the exact name of the file or where you saw it. And what it does is it helps you to quickly find that past work without really worrying about remembering the names or those locations. So then we have live captions, which is translation. It breaks those language barriers. I'm up here in New York, and I do work with D&H in Canada on occasion. And many of the people that I've dealt with up there, French Canadian, which is not one of my skill sets. Having access to using live captions, it has helped me work together with some people that, typically I'd have to have somebody who may have been able to translate or help explain it. This makes it a lot easier for I'm going to do. And, you would turn this feature on. It does work in real time. And it's turned on through Windows Accessibility or your quick settings. And what it does is it translates spoken audio into captions in real time. So when you are having those global meetings, trainings, or in some cases, just a noisy environment. All right, and click to do. Now what that does is it provides you with on-screen insights into immediate action. It's activated by selecting text or images on screen. And what it does is it provides you contextual actions like copy, rewriting, summarizing, or search. So it makes a lot of your work tasks throughout the day easier. And then finally, you've got the improved Windows search, which it does use your natural language. Again, you don't have to remember everything. And instead of exact keywords, what it does is it learns user usage patterns so you can surface your results faster, and it makes finding those apps, finding those files, and various settings more intuitive. So with this one, one of the things that we always emphasize with Windows 11 Pro, and especially with Copilot, is the security benefits. So I kind of want to add all of this on there to make sure people understand it's not just at the silicon, and it's it starts below the operating system. And what it does is at a silicon level, you get the Microsoft Pluton processor. It protects all of your credentials. All right, you've got your encryption keys, boot integrity, and it's, from the moment the device powers on, all of that integrated security is already built into the device. So what it does, it gives you a secure and measured boot system that ensures that your Windows does start from an untampered state every time. There's no corruption with your BIOS or earlier boot systems. So you've got a secure, measured boot, and it's always going to be in the best, most secure option every time. All right. With Windows 11 Pro and you're running security, Defender is integrated with Windows 11 Pro, so you're not having to buy third-party software. So you've got a savings right off of that. And what it does, integrated with Copilot, you've got AI threat detection that does work together, that does provide you with greater protection, whether it's through your private information with identity theft. You've got data security and endpoints, and it's not slowing down that performance. It runs in the background. Anybody who remembers your systems years ago, we had a lot of great options for software and protecting, but it drained a lot of resources, and it really slowed the system down. That's a thing of the past. So, your Copilot Plus PCs, when you're using the NPU for your AI accelerated threat protection, again, it's in the background, it's not slowing down your productivity, and it's designed for all of your modern threats. It's not just the old, great, I got to worry about a virus or maybe some email scam. It hits on everything. So, you're not just getting yesterday's risk, you're getting a stronger security, you're getting better performance, and you're less compromises for IT department and the endpoint users.
Hey, Lauren, can I add that Pluton is required for Copilot Plus PC and Windows 11. So more or less Windows 11 today, but it is required. So it's built into pretty much all the processors that are out there.
Okay. We did have a question somebody asked us, why is it focused on laptop and not desktops? I apologize for the confusion. This is on all systems. It wasn't desktop specific, as long as it's a Windows 11 Pro system, same benefits. So a laptop or a desktop workstation.
So I'll help you answer that as well too, right? So in the mix of that is we launched on notebooks first because of the portability and the more use on laptops than it was on desktops. We did launch the Essential AI on desktops, so you still have some AI capabilities on the desktops. And at Dell, we just launched our first Copilot Plus desktop on the Micro, what we're now calling Dell Pro Micro 5. So we're there. It's just moving a little bit slower. The bigger units used or the desktops were able to go to higher GPUs that had NPUs built into it, whereas desktops or notebooks did not have that option at the moment. Back to you.
All right. So, your Copilot Plus PCs, we want to make sure people understand it's not really just about AI. These things are built to improve ROI because they're improving your efficiency, they're reducing your tickets, they're reducing security incidents, and the benefits I went over earlier. Microsoft estimates that approximately up to 5 hours per employee per week is saved due to benefits like faster content discovery, better workflows. I live and breathe off of it for a lot of the tasks that I'm doing. So where they say 5 hours, I'm thinking that's conservative. But based on that number, you're talking 20 extra hours per week per employee saved. That is 6 weeks per year of improved efficiency, improved productivity. So when you consider the additional cost of the device, or you consider the additional cost of the subscription versus when you consider labor costs, it's pennies on the dollar when you consider the benefits that an organization is getting. All right? The Copilot Plus PCs are the most secure Windows systems that have ever been built. Right? They block 70% of the ways that PCs or data can be targeted. As a result, organizations are reducing their security incidents by as much as 15%. And one of the things I like to talk to people about is when you're considering getting the M365 subscription. All right, you got 365, and it's considering, do I want to get the additional subscription? The way that I push upon when I discuss with people is that it's like $1 a day personal assistant. That's less than most of us are spending on coffee. So you're seeing those benefits that you're getting. I kid you not, when I've worked on presentations that used to take me days to do, that now I'm basically able to produce it within, call it half that time or less. It makes things a lot easier. It helps creating the content that I'm delivering. So, when you look at Microsoft and you look at the AI, investments, a lot of things that everybody looks at. Whether you're a small organization with a few PCs, or you've got an enterprise organization with hundreds, if not thousands, it's still a big investment. And what we want to help impress upon is that AI helps employees that are doing more high value work earlier in their available schedule. It's not just about getting it done faster. So it makes it easier to prioritize those daily work tasks that every one of us are doing. All right, AI agents are, what they're doing is they're extending this further. They're handling the routine tasks in the background. So, the stuff that we used to do, it's now streamlining that. All right. What Microsoft is doing is that they're investing in long-term, not just short-term stuff. So all the benefits that they're putting into, we want to keep it simple, that they're understanding that AI isn't just replacing work. People are concerned on how AI or how Copilot is working. And what it's not doing, it's not replacing the work that you're doing, but what it is doing is elevating the work that everybody can do. And that's where it's making all of us better at what we do on any given day. So not just so we're focusing on commercial customers, but I also want to impress on a lot of our resellers that are very much K-12 or even collegiate educational focused. So we kind of wanted to bring this out, take the opportunity to explain, highlight why Copilot Plus PCs are a strong fit for our educational customers. Students need a system that is designed for performance, has got all day battery life, you've got compatibility with all of your Windows systems. And Copilot Plus PCs deliver all three in a single platform. What it does is it helps students that are creating, learning, work more efficiently, and stay better organized to complete everyday academic tasks across Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Teams. The integrated enterprise-grade security, again, it's protecting students, it's protecting institutions. Many of them are working through VPNs when they're going through their academic professors or student work that they are performing. So it's still allowing all of that, but delivering it at a higher performance level. But the real value, and you look at a much bigger picture, is you're seeing the way it's preparing students for the AI skills and the tools that they're going to need, not just in school, but in the workforce that is in their future careers. Stuff that many of us, we've had to do it the old school way, and it was difficult, and it was slow, and it was tedious. And now when you're seeing the tools and the resources that AI is providing, it's helping people to get more done in less time. So, I just want to take things, wrap this up. Thank you very much, all of you, for your time. Thank Dan. Kind of helped explain the difference that we are shifting from the traditional PCs and, converting to an AI-ready platform. One of the things we want to make sure is that people are seeing Copilot Plus PCs and they're seeing AI not just even for the obvious work things that they think of, but one of the things I kind of wanted to tell is just from a personal experience. I had an opportunity to talk to a reseller recently, and it was interesting. He was telling me how he had used Copilot and AI to help him work with a physical therapy program. He had back surgery. And when you got massage therapy, you got chiropractic, you got physical therapy, you got the time for all of that. It's expensive. And he's using AI not just for himself at work, he is using AI for stuff for personal things that a lot of people may be overlooking. So it's not just your work environment, it's your personal home environment. And we just want people to understand how AI and Copilot benefits your everyday life. And, the ultimate end result is giving everybody better productivity. You're getting a noticeably improved experience, and you're not adding any kind of complexity for yourself or for your organization. So, whether it's your business professionals, your IT teams, it's students, Copilot PCs are here to help everybody work smarter, faster, and with greater confidence. So when you're shopping for those new systems, when you're looking at what level of AI or what level of Copilot you need, and you're considering the upgrade, the investment isn't just about how you're working and how you're learning, but it's getting things more done at an accelerated pace using that with that ROI. So I do appreciate all of you. I thank you for your time. Dan, thank you. And does anybody have any questions for AI? No, I think we are good.
All right, sounds like a plan. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for the invite and having us talk about our stuff.
All right, thank you.